Hey, what's going to probably be a very quick update of chapters 4 and 5 of The Wtr Dancer, 2019 novel by Tanahasi, Tan, Tanahasi Coates, I'm going to go with. Um, yes, so in these chapters, we have him, uh, we have, we have High um, caring for his brother, being his keeper, him being a selfish dolt, um, and the father saying like you need to take care of him, um, and it's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm going to do that. They go in for kind of the racing day, and he the brother, um, Hiram, or is it High? Maynard. He's Hiram. High is Hiram. Maynard making an ass of himself, kind of pestering one woman, kind of feeling henpecked by another one that's been selected as the woman that's going to be his, was supposed to be his bride, to the kind of joining of a smart woman with a dolt guy, because she needs basically a gentleman, because it's a patriarchal dude society, and she can't get entry into stuff. um and he he the brother wins his horse races, and he's like, oh, he goes back through town, and it's like, but all the other, the quality whites just ignore him. So he goes off, whoring. um High goes to the house of George Packer, a free black, and says like, look, I need to get out of here. I need to get that underground train. And George just like, no, go home. You don't know what you're talking. I don't know what you're talking about. Basically brushes him off. But it's like, no, he knows what's going on. And it's like, I know that basically I'm starting to become a man, with all my urges to be a man. And he's seen all the people who've like, hooked up with, gotten relationships, and then one of them has gotten sold, and just how much that's, they basically want to stab each other to death rather than that happen. And he's like, he's really afraid that that's going to happen to him, and he needs to get out before that happens, before, and all this other bullshit, and having to be, his brother's keeper, his brother's caretaker. Indeed, he has a dream of Maynard, of like him and a whole bunch of other black folk chained to Maynard, except Maynard is like a baby who's like crawling, and it's just like, and aimlessly, and has no fucking clue. And it's just like, Jesus, this is what our whole life is chained to. And it's like, we're, doomed. So he's determined to get out. And this brings us back up to the present at the start of the novel, because they're going across the bridge. And I assumed it was just sort of like, oh, they crashed off the bridge or something like that. But it's like, no, it's like suddenly he sees the vision of a woman, and it's like, it's his mother. And then they're in the water. And I think it's like, this is what he terms as conducting, where he's basically kind of zipped through, transported through, teleported through to the water, and then he teleports again, um, and he suddenly, it's like, I'm in the furlough, which is like, where the progenitor Archibald Walker, the bust of him is, um, and that's the next thing he has, and he remembers waking up there, and then the next thing he knows, he's in Maynard's bedroom, in the bed, clothed in his night dress, and his father comes to him and says like, we're, that's it, we're dead. And oh, Maynard was such a kind, giving soul that he sacrificed himself to make sure that you got out of the water alive. And like, and it's like, High is just like, that is like madness. But it's like, oh my God, the old guy actually believes that. He has to believe that the best of his dissolute, dumbass son, selfish son, that he would actually sacrifice himself. But it's like, how did I get from the river to the furlong where there's this thing? It's like I can't. He's trying to figure it out, and indeed he ends up back there, and it's like he finds the coin, his coin that his father had flipped to him when he took him out of the fields, and he thought, oh, this is my coin to transport me, like, up in society. But it's like, no, it wasn't. But it turns out to be a coin of a different thing. It's a coin to reveal his gift of teleporting. It's like, okay. It's an interesting little thing to do here. He's got a photographic memory. Is like super highly intelligent, which in itself isn't beyond the bounds of possibility. But now it's like apparently he's a teleporter, which I can see coming in handy when you're trying to get free. And we'll go from there of like what distances. Yeah. I'm glad I continued on today. I had a little bit of kind of resistance of coming back to the story. It's just like there's a little bit of the eating the oatmeal with the story, just because it's an important story and it definitely has that important feel to it of high literature sometimes, of you're not forgetting that this is important literature as you're listening to it. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. It's a good, well-told story. I don't know if it's sweeping me away though, or anything like that. It's very much like it's a modern voice in this Southern Virginia, kind of Virginia, which is drying up, which you can't buy your freedom anymore as a black person. You could when the state was doing well, but now that it's dying and the crops are shitty, well then the only wealth that is left are the slaves, and so no one's willing to let slaves buy themselves. They're all going to get sold Natchez way, which I think is the clearinghouse to basically be sold off other places into the brutality of the slave system. So yeah, okay, that is the Wtr Dncr for these there chapters. More videos later.